How to rebrand yourself in 2025. We're going to go through 5 steps. Starting with number 1 is to find an identity. The reason that we need to rebrand and find our identity is because we don't have one. And when we don't have an identity, we aren't working towards something, because an identity is something that you're working towards, you're putting effort towards every day. And because of this is how people go through therapy for 20 years and never get anywhere. So it is so important that you have a point A to point B. You're going towards your identity at point B. And that is what you want the process to look like when you're in therapy. So if you're not happy with where your life is at, you're not happy with the brand of yourself, you're not happy with your identity, chances are you aren't striving, working your butt off every day towards an identity that you are obsessed with, that you are motivated by, that is part of your purpose. So it's finding that out. How do you do that? You tune into your inspiration everywhere around you. You tune into your feelings, what makes you feel bad, what makes you feel good. And, this might be a non-existent practice in your life as it was in mine. So it's just a striving to understand your feelings. It is learning that if for 3 days you're in a bad mood, figuring out what was the cause of that bad mood. Oh, it was that person treating me that way and me responding that way. Oh, I'm going to learn to respond in a different way. That's going to be part of my new identity. I set kind boundaries often and with confidence, or whatever it is. If you enjoy someone's fashion, then that can be part of your identity as well. If you enjoy the way someone works out and takes care of their body, it can be that as well. If you've experienced trauma, this can feel really hard because we don't feel a lot of feelings because we have a lot of survival mode. So what are you going to do? You're going to fight to get those feelings. You're going to have grit and persistence and consistency, and you're going to just celebrate yourself so much when you get a bit of what you want your identity to be. When you get a bit of what you don't want your identity to be, celebrate that, write it down, keep track, and take this seriously. It's about betting on yourself, having faith in yourself, and confidence in yourself that you can become this identity that you wish to become. And if you can't figure out what it is you even want, then it's just about putting in the work to try to figure that out. Even if you can't today, you wrote down some things and maybe you got nowhere, but still you put in that effort and you're holding the belief. If you're Christian, you know that Jesus's number 1 teaching was to believe. So there's that. Step 2, it's time to get focused and hold yourself accountable for the identity that you just set as your goal to rebrand yourself in 2025. This means setting your daily routine that aligns with your identity, setting your friendships, setting your work life, your home life, all to align with your new identity, and keeping track of what things are supporting it, what things aren't, as well as your motivation, keeping track of when you're not feeling like rebranding, you're not feeling like stepping into your new identity that day, figuring out what you can change around so that you consistently stay motivated, stay in the game. Step 3 is to love yourself even when you make mistakes. We're moving our focus from criticizing ourselves, from being hard on ourselves, from putting ourselves down, from low self-esteem. low confidence to high self-esteem, loving ourselves when we make mistakes, being forgiving with ourselves, giving ourselves grace, accepting our humanity, allowing ourselves to be human. That means going back into our old identity, etc. Making mistakes we used to make is okay. What's more important than that is that we're staying focused and we're working towards an identity that we're obsessed with and that we love and that we believe in ourselves to reach. So you're just, not trying to make more than a few mistakes, but just understanding yourself more by watching yourself make these mistakes and then watching your thoughts and then being loving, clearing out the low self-esteem, because that's very, very high in people who have no identity, who need to rebrand themselves because they so much don't like who they are. So the more that we love ourselves and clear out that low self-esteem and low confidence and self-hate, then we're going to just accelerate the process and reduce the resistance to us creating this new identity. Step number 4 to rebrand yourself in 2025 is to let go of anger, of fear, of resentment, and other negative feelings. And especially letting go of allowing half a day or a few hours of your day or whole day to pass just feeling anger. This is it's like stepping on the brakes of a car, and it's going to slow down all of your progress on reaching your identity, and it's going to just ruin all of the progress that you made. So we want to focus on being aware of when these emotions are coming up, and we want to move into hopefulness and, excitement for the person that we are becoming, and let that be our focus instead of negative emotions, and with that, be able to accelerate.